You ever notice something? Everybody wants to be known as a good person until doing the right thing costs them something, until it's inconvenient, until it asks for sacrifice. But let me tell you something real. Character isn't revealed in comfort. Character shows up in conflict. Character is proven when no one is watching, because that is the moment when every mask falls off, every performance stops, and the truth of who you are stands alone. When there is no applause to win, no reputation to protect, no eyes to impress, your choices become the purest reflection of your values. It's easy to act right when people are paying attention. It's easy to smile when it benefits you. It's easy to show kindness when there's something to gain. But when you're alone, when the room is empty, when no one's going to praise you or judge you, that's when your character steps into the light. That's when you find out if your principles are real or if they were just a costume you wore for the world. The truth is, character is built in the moments nobody sees. It's in the sacrifices you make quietly. It's in the temptations you resist silently. It's in the promises you keep even when breaking them would be easier. A person with real character doesn't need an audience to do what's right. They don't need validation to stay disciplined. They don't need recognition to stay consistent. They do the right thing because it's who they are, not because someone might reward them for it. In life, you'll always have opportunities to cut corners. There will be moments where doing the wrong thing is quicker, simpler, or more profitable. You'll have chances to lie, and no one would ever find out. You'll have opportunities to cheat, and people would probably applaud the outcome. You'll face choices where nobody would question you if you chose the easy route. But those are the moments that define you, not the moments when the world is watching, but the moments when nobody is there to hold you accountable, except the person in the mirror. Character is proven in the decision you make at midnight when you tired and frustrated but still choose discipline over excuses. It's proven when you return money you could have kept because you know it isn't yours. It's proven when you refuse to talk about someone behind their back because you know it's wrong even though everyone else is doing it. It's proven when you push through a commitment even after the feeling you had when you made that commitment has faded. Character is proven when you stay true to your standards, not just your moods. People sometimes think character is about perfection. It's not. It's about intention. It's about honesty. It's about the willingness to hold yourself to a higher standard even when nobody else has the power to judge you. Discipline without recognition is character. Kindness without acknowledgement is character. Integrity without applause is character. These quiet acts build a foundation inside you that nothing and no one can shake. And here's the powerful part. The world eventually catches up to your private choices. You can't hide who you really are forever. A person's true nature always reveals itself with time, with pressure, with adversity. Every small decision you make in private is shaping your reputation long before people ever speak your name. When you consistently do the right thing in the dark, you build a confidence and inner strength that shines when you step into the light. But when you compromise in private, when you let small wrong choices slide because no one saw, you build habits that eventually surface in ways you can't control. Character is like a muscle built when nobody is watching, built through repetition, built through small moments of commitment and honesty. And just like a muscle, it becomes stronger every time you use it. Every time you choose integrity over comfort, you grow. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you grow. Every time you choose truth over convenience, you grow. The greatest people in the world aren't great because they acted right in public, but because they built themselves in private. They honored their word when it was hard. They kept their values when it cost them. They held onto their principles even when nobody acknowledged their effort. True character is silent, steady, and consistent long before it becomes visible to others. And the person who chooses the right thing in the unseen moments is the person who becomes unshakable in the visible ones. Doing the right thing requires sacrifice, discipline, and courage because the path of integrity is rarely the path of comfort. Most people want to be known as good, honest, and principled, but when the moment comes to actually make a hard choice, the weight of that decision exposes who they truly are. Doing the right thing often asks you to give up something: time, convenience, relationships, opportunities, or even your pride. It demands that you choose long-term purpose over short-term pleasure. It demands that you stand firm even when the easier option would let you escape pain, judgment, or responsibility. That's why integrity isn't free. It costs you something every single time. And that cost is what reveals your character more than anything else. Sacrifice is at the heart of doing what's right. Sometimes you must sacrifice comfort to tell the truth when a lie would protect you. Sometimes you sacrifice popularity by standing up for someone who's being mistreated, even when it makes you an outsider. Sometimes you sacrifice opportunities because you refuse to cut corners or use questionable methods to get ahead. Sacrifice is painful because it forces you to choose between what you want now and what you value most. It requires you to willingly let go of something that feels good in the moment to stay aligned with who you want to be in the long run. And the truth is, most people don't fail at doing the right thing because they don't know what the right thing is. They fail because they don't want to pay the price that comes with it. Discipline is the silent companion of every good decision. Doing the right thing isn't a one-time event. It's a repeated choice, an ongoing commitment. Discipline means showing up even when the motivation fades. It means staying consistent with your values even when nobody's keeping score. It means doing the work, honoring your word, and following through when giving up would be easier, quicker, or more comfortable. Discipline is what keeps you steady when your emotions try to pull you off track. It's waking up early to meet a responsibility. It's studying when you'd rather relax. It's controlling your reactions when anger tries to take over. It's choosing patience in situations where you feel like exploding. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not something people celebrate, but it's the backbone of every right decision made over time. Without discipline, good intentions collapse under pressure. Courage ties it all together. Doing the right thing requires courage because the right thing is often the most uncomfortable choice in the room. Courage means speaking the truth even when your voice shakes. It means saying no when everyone around you is saying yes. It means walking away from what looks good but isn't good for you. It means confronting your own flaws and admitting when you're wrong. Courage doesn't mean you aren't afraid. It means you're willing to move forward despite the fear. Some of the hardest moments in life are those where you know exactly what you should do, but the consequences scare you. That's where courage steps in. Courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet decision to stay honest, to stay kind, to stay responsible even when everything in you wants to avoid discomfort. Doing the right thing is rarely convenient. It takes mental strength to resist the easy path. It takes emotional strength to endure criticism or misunderstanding. It takes spiritual strength to stay aligned with your values when temptation offers shortcuts. But every time you choose integrity over ease, your character grows a little stronger. You become someone who trusts yourself, someone others can trust, someone who stands firm when life tests you. There will be moments when nobody supports your decision, moments when people question your motives or misunderstand your intentions, moments when choosing what's right costs you opportunities you worked hard for. But what you gain is far greater: self-respect, clarity, peace, and a foundation that doesn't crumble under pressure. Doing the right thing builds a reputation you don't have to defend because your consistency speaks for itself. It builds relationships based on trust, not convenience. It builds a life that might not always be easy, but is always meaningful. Sacrifice, discipline, and courage aren't obstacles standing in your way there. The tools shaping you into someone who can be proud of the person they've become. A life built on easy choices collapses. A life built on hard, right choices lasts. Short-term comfort can cost long-term purpose because the temptation to choose what feels good right now is often the very thing that pulls you away from who you are meant to become. Every day you're presented with choices. Some are easy, enjoyable, and instantly rewarding, while others are uncomfortable, challenging, and demand patience. The problem is that the easy choices usually satisfy you only for a moment, but they slowly steal the future you're trying to build. Purpose, on the other hand, doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in commitment, sacrifice, and the willingness to delay gratification for something greater than the present moment. Short-term comfort is seductive. It whispers, just relax, when you know you should be working. It tells you, do it tomorrow, when you know you should take action today. It convinces you that one more hour of distraction won't hurt, one more excuse won't matter, one more compromise won't change anything. But purpose doesn't disappear in one big moment. It fades through small, silent decisions where comfort wins over conviction. The dream isn't destroyed by one dramatic failure. It's slowly starved by 1,000 tiny choices that feel harmless in the moment, but devastating over time. Choosing comfort often means avoiding discomfort, difficulty, or discipline. It means picking what's pleasurable instead of what's productive. And the truth is, anything meaningful, anything worth pursuing requires you to embrace discomfort at some point. Nobody achieves greatness by choosing the easier path every time. Nobody builds a strong mind, a strong career, a strong relationship, or a strong character by taking shortcuts. Purpose demands effort, consistency, focus, and resilience. Comfort demands nothing. Comfort asks you to stay still. Purpose asks you to grow. And growth never feels as good as comfort in the moment, but it always feels better in the long run. Every time you choose comfort over purpose, you trade your future for your present. You're not just postponing your progress, you're rewriting the direction of your life. One skipped workout becomes two. One day of procrastination becomes a habit. One excuse becomes your identity. And then one day, you look back and realize you stayed the same while your potential was waiting for you to show up. Comfort tricks you into believing you have time, but purpose reminds you that every day matters. Time is the one thing you never get back, and wasting it on easy choice is one of the fastest ways to lose the life you could have had. Long-term purpose requires discipline, and discipline rarely feels comfortable. It asks you to wake up earlier than you wanted to. It pushes you to study when your mind is tired. It demands that you keep going when nobody is cheering for you. It forces you to confront your weaknesses instead of hiding behind distractions. Discipline is uncomfortable, but that discomfort strengthens you. It shapes you. It prepares you for challenges that comfort could never equip you to face. Discipline brings confidence, and confidence brings momentum. The more you choose purpose, the more capable you become of carrying it. And then there's another layer. Comfort not only affects your future, it affects your sense of self. Every time you choose comfort when you know you shouldn't, a part of you feels it. You lose trust in yourself. You lose belief in your potential. You lose the inner fire that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your goals. Purpose gives energy. Comfort drains it. Purpose gives meaning. Comfort gives emptiness. Purpose gives fulfillment. Comfort gives regret. The cost of comfort isn't always obvious in the moment. You don't feel the damage right away. But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The small losses compound. The missed opportunities stack up. The version of you that you were meant to become grows distant. Dreams die quietly, not because they were impossible, but because comfort killed the effort required to reach them. But the powerful truth is this: you can choose differently at any moment. Purpose is always waiting for you. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't give up on you. You just have to value your future more than your feelings. You have to decide that the temporary discomfort of discipline is worth the permanent reward of becoming who you're meant to be. Short-term comfort might feel good right now, but long-term purpose will make your life feel meaningful every single day. Integrity creates trust, and trust creates opportunity, because the foundation of every meaningful connection, every strong relationship, and every lasting success is built on the consistency of a person's actions. When you live with integrity, people may not always agree with you, but they will always know where you stand. They will know your word means something. They will know your actions match your intentions. And in a world full of broken promises, mixed signals, and hidden motives, a person with integrity becomes rare. And because they are rare, they become valuable. Trust isn't something you demand, it's something you earn, and integrity is the currency that earns it. Integrity means doing what you said you would do, even when circumstances change, even when excuses become available, even when following through costs you more than you expected. It means choosing honesty over convenience. It means showing up not only when it benefits you, but when it requires effort and sacrifice. It means you don't just talk about your values, you live them. When you consistently choose to operate from a place of truth and responsibility, people can feel it. They may not say it out loud, but they take notice. They remember. And over time, trust starts to grow. Trust is built in layers, like bricks laid one at a time. Each decision to be honest, each moment of accountability, each promise that you keep, these become the building blocks of your reputation. And the stronger your reputation, the more people feel safe relying on you. A person who can be trusted becomes a person others want to work with, support, and invest in. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, raising a family, or simply trying to grow as a person, trust is the invisible force that makes things move forward. It removes friction. It removes doubt. It removes hesitation. Trust turns conversations into partnerships and connections into opportunities. On the other hand, the moment integrity is compromised, trust begins to crack. And when trust cracks, everything built on top of it becomes unstable. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how smart you are, or how charming you are if people can't trust you. They won't follow you. They won't open doors for you. And they won't put their name next to yours. You can lose trust in a single moment. And rebuilding it can take years. That's why integrity is so important. It protects your name long before the world ever hears it. When you consistently show up as someone who lives by principles, opportunities begin to come your way naturally. People recommend you because they know you'll deliver. People include you because they know you won't betray them. People invest in you because they believe you'll honor the relationship. Opportunities often look like luck from the outside, but most of the time, they're simply the result of trust that has been earned quietly over time. Integrity doesn't just create trust with others, it creates trust within yourself. It builds a sense of inner strength and confidence that comes from knowing you don't need to lie, manipulate, or pretend to achieve something. You can stand tall because you know you didn't cut corners. You know that if something came to you, it came because you earned it. And when you believe in yourself, opportunity expands even more. Because you move with clarity and conviction instead of insecurity and doubt. Even in moments of adversity, integrity has a way of protecting you. When you operate honestly, you never have to remember which lie you told, which story you fabricated, or which version of yourself you were pretending to be. Your life becomes simpler, cleaner, and more focused. And people are drawn to that. They feel safe around someone who is consistent. They feel inspired by someone who won't betray their values. They feel encouraged to bring their best selves because your integrity sets a standard for the environment. Life has a way of bringing everything full circle. The people who take shortcuts often gain progress quickly, but they lose it just as fast because their foundation is weak. The people who choose integrity might move slower at first, but they build something that lasts, something stable, something respected, something trustworthy. And trust, once established, becomes a doorway to bigger things, deeper relationships, stronger partnerships, leadership roles, unexpected chances, and moments where someone says, I chose you because I know I can count on you. Integrity creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. And when those opportunities come, they aren't accidents, they're the natural result of a life lived with honesty, responsibility, and unwavering character. Hard choices shape who you become, not just what you achieve, because every difficult decision forces you to confront your values, your fears, and your commitment to growth. Achievements are external, they can be seen, counted, celebrated, but character is internal, built quietly through the decisions you make when life places pressure on you. Easy choices don't test you. Easy choices don't stretch you. Easy choices don't challenge your identity. Hard choices do. They reveal what you're willing to stand for, what you're willing to sacrifice, and how deeply you believe in the person you're trying to become. You don't grow from comfort, you grow from challenge. And those moments of challenge shape you far more deeply than any trophy, title, or accomplishment ever could. Hard choices demand honesty. They force you to ask yourself difficult questions. What kind of person am I? What values do I really hold? What matters more, approval or authenticity, comfort or conviction, fear or faith? When you're faced with a hard choice, you can't hide behind excuses or distractions. You have to confront the truth of who you are and decide if you're willing to step into the discomfort required to become better. Those decisions carve out your identity piece by piece. Over time, the person you become is a direct result of the choices you were brave enough to make when everything inside you wanted to choose the easier path. Hard choices also require courage because they often place you in situations where you don't know the outcome. Choosing to walk away from something that's familiar but unhealthy is hard. Choosing to stand up for what's right even when you're standing alone is hard. Choosing discipline over temptation is hard. Choosing long-term purpose over short-term pleasure is hard. But every time you choose courage over fear, you build inner strength that becomes part of you. That strength will stay with you long after the moment has passed. Achievements might fade, but the courage you earn from choosing what's right stays with you forever. Difficult decisions also build resilience. When you choose the harder road, you learn how to endure discomfort, push through obstacles, and stay focused even when things feel overwhelming. You discover that you are capable of more than you thought. That resilience doesn't come from winning, it comes from choosing the difficult path and refusing to quit when it gets challenging. Over time, resilience becomes part of your character. It becomes the reason you can handle pressure, adapt to change, and stay grounded in the middle of chaos. Resilience is not built by the moments you coast through life. It's built by the moments you fight through difficulty and keep going anyway. Hard choices also build integrity. When you choose to honor your values, even when it costs you something, you develop a reputation with yourself. You start to trust your own word. You start to believe that when you say you're going to do something, you'll follow through. That self-trust is powerful because it sets the tone for every future decision. When you consistently choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you build a foundation of integrity. That influences how others perceive you, and more importantly, how you perceive yourself. That integrity becomes part of your identity, shaping the way you carry yourself and the standards you hold. Hard choices shape your mindset as well. They teach you that growth is uncomfortable and that discomfort is not something to avoid, but something to embrace. Instead of running from challenges, you start to see them as opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. That shift in mindset changes everything. It affects how you approach your goals, how you handle setbacks, and how you respond to adversity. People who make easy choices stay stuck. People who make hard choices evolve. They become the type of person who sees possibility instead of limitation, purpose instead of pain, progress instead of fear. Ultimately, hard choices shape who you become because they anchor your identity in something deeper than achievement. Achievements can be taken away, titles can be lost, success can fade, but the strength, integrity, resilience, and courage you gain from choosing the harder path last a lifetime. They become part of your character, part of your spirit, part of your story. Hard choices might not always lead to the outcome you hoped for, but they will always lead to the person you're meant to be. A good person impacts others through consistent actions, not words, because words are easy to speak, easy to promise, and easy to forget. But actions require commitment, effort, and follow through. Anyone can say the right things, especially when people are watching or when the situation demands it. But not everyone can live the right things day after day and moment after moment, when there is no recognition, no applause, and no immediate reward. Actions reveal authenticity. Actions show who you truly are when the distractions fade and the pressure rises. The world is full of talkers, people who claim they care, who say they will help, who promise they will change, but their actions never align with their words. That is why the presence of someone whose actions match their intentions becomes powerful and rare. A good person doesn't need to announce their goodness. They don't need to convince others that they are kind, honest, or loyal. Instead, people feel it through the consistency of how they show up. They listen when others rush. They help when others hesitate. They follow through when others make excuses. They lift others up, even when no one is watching. And because they act from a place of genuine care, they don't need to broadcast their efforts. Their impact speaks for them long before they ever speak for themselves. Consistency is what separates temporary gestures from true influence. Anyone can be kind once. Anyone can be honest when it's easy. Anyone can help when it's convenient. But a good person is defined by what they repeatedly do, not what they occasionally do. Their actions form a pattern of reliability, empathy, integrity, and responsibility. Over time, people learn that they can count on them. They learn that this person will show up, not just when life is calm, but when life is complicated. Not just when it benefits them, but when it costs them time, effort, or comfort. That consistency builds trust. And trust is the soil where real impact grows. Impact doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, and unnoticed at first. A good person who consistently encourages others might unknowingly keep someone from giving up. A good person who shows patience might inspire someone to handle their own life with more grace. A good person who works hard might push others to raise their standards. A good person who keeps their promises, even the small ones, might restore someone's belief that honesty still exists. These small, consistent actions shape the environment around them, influence the people they interact with, and leave a mark far deeper than any speech or motivational words ever could. When people witness consistent actions, they begin to believe in possibility. They see proof that goodness isn't just an idea, it's a behavior. They see proof that integrity isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. And that proof inspires them to elevate themselves. It reminds them that character is measured not by what you say you will do, but by what you actually live out every single day. Words may inspire someone momentarily, but consistent actions inspire transformation. A good person's impact also lasts longer because it is grounded in authenticity. Words can fade, be misunderstood, or be forgotten. but the memory of how someone acted stays with you. You remember the person who stood by you when others walked away. You remember the person who told you the truth gently when you needed to hear it. You remember the person who encouraged you, protected you, respected you, and valued you, not because they said they would, but because they repeatedly showed it. Actions become stories. Stories become lessons. Lessons become part of someone's identity. That is true impact. Furthermore, consistent actions create a ripple effect. One act of kindness can influence someone to pass that kindness to another. One moment of patience can prevent anger from spreading. One display of integrity can inspire someone else to live more honestly. When a person consistently shows goodness, the people around them begin to adjust their own standards, not because they were lectured into changing, but because they witnessed a living example of what being a good person looks like. Influence rooted in action is stronger than influence rooted in words because it shows rather than tells what's possible. A good person understands that their behavior teaches more than their voice. They know that people watch what you do more closely than what you say. They know that character is proven through patterns, not speeches. So they choose to live in a way that reflects their values in every area of their life when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're tempted, when they're alone, and when they're surrounded by others. And by doing so consistently, they create a legacy that can't be erased by time or forgotten by circumstance. A good person doesn't aim to impress. They aim to impact. And the greatest impact always comes from consistent actions that prove who they are far more clearly than any words ever could.